On this episode, we get an exclusive look at the All In Martial Arts Gym, where Eddie Cha and Sam Troy train top amateur and professional MMA prospects. Learn what it takes to go all in and leave nothing behind. You are watching On the Inside.
One of the toughest kids at our gym, I think, especially at 145, and now he's at 135. He's fought nothing but tough guys. You know, he's only lost a couple guys, but his will to win is second to none. He trains hard. I know he's literally slept at gyms. He's trained 5-6 hours a day before. He's pretty much given it everything he had. Then he took a step back and got a couple injuries. And you know, when you train that hard, you don't get results. You kind of tend to wonder, is this for me? And, you know, do I have what it takes? And so forth. But I think he's back and he's starting to see, like, I can do this. If he can do it, I can do it. And that's all it usually takes, is when you see somebody that I feel like I can do better than him or equal to, that's usually what it takes. And he's definitely one of the toughest guys at the gym.
Max is a strong fighter, tough in the mind, focused, determined to win his fight. His camp is almost over, but he still needs more training. The next stop for Cejudo is at the All In Martial Arts Gym in Buena Park, California. There, he will add the finishing touches to tighten up his skills for his fight. We'll be right back with more On the Inside.
Actually, off the street, I walked into the gym. I walked into many locations around the area, and as soon as I walked in and talked to Mike Rush, we connected right away. He realized what I was, which was a person waiting to get some aggression out, waiting to hit people, and, you know, turned me from clay to what I am now.
see guys at 260 pounds do what he does. You know, he can do handstands, cartwheels. He's flexible, fast, he's agile. You know, I mean, if he can just put everything together, that kid is something special. You know, nobody can move like he does. He moves like a, you know, like a middleweight kind of, so to say. And I don't think he's reached his max potential. He's just gotten by off raw talent. You know, he's barely scratched the surface.
Big Joe just loves the fact of getting in the cage and putting on a show, and that's what's a little bit unique about Big Joe. He's a showman. He loves it, loves being on stage, loves putting on a show. He's a crowd pleaser.
It's another win for the team, and they continue to prepare for battle, one of them being a current UFC Bantamweight fighter, Francisco Rivera, whom has paved the way for other All In teammates.
The level of talent we have here is just, you know, up and comers, guys who want to make it to the UFC. You know, when they train with myself, you know, a UFC fighter, that's these guys' dream. So, you know, they push themselves. They want to see how good they are against a UFC fighter. That, you know, I think they train a lot harder than the pros nowadays. You know, they want to make it that pro, and they're willing to learn. They're willing to help out and push you. And a lot of these guys here at All In, man, they just give me a run for my money. You know, it's more before the fight that gets all crazy. You know, cutting weight, training. You know, that's the toughest part of the whole fight. And my son and daughter are like, you know, my world now. Before I had them, before I had my son, before I had my daughter, it was more about for myself, my mother, you know, my siblings. I really had nothing to fight for. I was doing it because I love it. You know, now I do it because I love it, and now I do it more because I have a family to support. You know?
Henry Corrales, a pro fighter about to defend his title at King of the Cage March 6th, was scheduled to fight Tristan Thomason, but has recently pulled out and is now facing a Cobra Kai fighter, Seth Deacon.
used to get in trouble a lot on the streets. Once I started training, you know, I stopped getting in trouble, so all my focus went to training so now that kept me out of trouble. Now, you know, I don't get in trouble anymore. Ever since I started training, I haven't been to jail or anything like that, so it's working out for me.
They've been asking about you. They really liked you. Remember they retweeted all your pics and stuff? They were like about it, so we just have to get you down there. They're in El Segundo.
I say look into my eyes, tell me what you see.
Eddie, Henry, and Jason House, CEO of Iridium Sports Agency, arrive at Chop Shop in Paramount, California to freshen up.
Tell me what you see. I came here to win, I can't ask for defeat. Gonna make it to the top, and I will never fall. Never will I stop, yeah, gotta have it all. Tell them it's a celebration. I got my family up in here, got that champagne, but we gon' start it with that Belvedere. So sincere, bottles flowing, know you see us up in here. It ain't really hard to tell, I'm the man of the year, ayy. From January to December, I'm working my ass off to make sure that you remember I'm the man, I'm so dope, I'm the bomb. No September, no pun intended. I make sure you fit me in your agenda, cause baby, I need your time. The money doesn't matter long as you are by my side. I feel I'm climbing up the ladder to the...
We're actually ahead of schedule. What I expected, he far, exceeded so far. So I was like, oh great, he's not unathletic. The central nervous system is actually pretty sharp. Like I was surprised at how he was able to recruit like his motor steps pretty well. Now we're gonna actually incorporate the weights, and this is where you're really gonna see him take off.
I came here to win, I can't ask for defeat. Gonna make it to the top, and I will never fall. Never will I stop, cause I gotta have it all.
For Henry, I mean, he's got an undefeated record right now. Currently, we're the King of the Cage champion. For us, it's about getting some more experience. And for him, I don't think it's a matter of if he makes it to the UFC, I believe it's when he makes it to the UFC. For us, it's just making sure that when he does, it's the right time and he's ready to go, and he's ready to go on and be like Francisco Rivera and go on a 4 or 5 fight win streak in the UFC. We definitely want to make sure that when we bring someone into the big show that they're ready to perform and compete. Henry's doing everything perfectly. He's right on track. So now that he's met with Master Cha and he's working daily with him, I really feel it's going to completely evolve his game, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
This episode is sponsored by Go to Sleep Clothing. Put your opponents to rest with G2S. One fighter that is prepared is Ernest EJ Chavez. He will be making his UFC debut on February 22nd, the same card as Ronda Rousey versus Sarah McMahon.
They just told me, hey, we're going to be on standby, and that in itself was just to even be somewhat considered to be a preliminary fight on the UFC was good enough. My training partners, critiquing me, getting me right. So, there's been a lot of people in and out, and I know I probably didn't mention everyone, but besides family and friends and everything like that, everyone's been supporting me. So I go in there to finish every time. I don't try to do these decisions, and there's he seems like non-stop, action-packed kind of guy. I want to finish, man. TKO would be ideal, submission would be second, a KO and stand-up would be third. I'm trying to be realistic. He's a hard guy to target.